adulthood, I would also consider her a friend. My family has had the pleasure of being with Nikki throughout this devastating time, and we've grieved the loss of Jhon Henry alongside her as well. When Jhon was in the ICU in May, battling aggressive cancer, he was woken up by a nurse checking on him, to which he responded by reaching out to hold her hand and telling her he was so glad she came to see him. A few moments later, Jhon realized that the nurse was simply a young woman with blonde hair, and he'd mistaken her for me the entire time. Nikki recounted this story to me and said that Jhon was disappointed that Sophia wasn't there to visit him. When I heard this story, I felt simultaneously heartbroken to hear how difficult Jhn's battle was proving to be, but I also felt such an honor that even in some of his most physically and mentally draining moments, he was thinking of me. I hold the utmost respect for Jhon. I consider him an uncle, and I will miss him every day for the rest of my life. He carried himself with grace, consideration, and his kindness never failed to show through everything he did. I feel that in the time I had the pleasure of knowing him, my life changed forever. But I think that that's just the Jhon effect. Every person he comes into contact with leaves with a new perspective and a smile on their face. On my 16th birthday, Jhon arrived at my party in a classic Jhon-style Hawaiian shirt, not knowing that all of my guy friends had planned to match for my party. It was only fitting that Jhon, as the life of the party he is, matched with them. I love looking back at those pictures because it's clear that his positive energy affected everybody around him. On my 18th birthday, Jhon was struggling with his cancer. I didn't think he would be physically well enough to make it, but Jhon persevered, showed up to my party on an extremely hot day, with lots of people around him, with a bright smile on his face. I cried when I found out that Nikki and Jhon were still planning on coming. I feel so thankful that that special day in my life was one he was able to be there for. Nikki and Jhon never failed to support me and my family, and I will forever be grateful to them for that. I look up to Jhon in many more ways than just one. To start, I admire the husband that he was to Nikki, the way that he loved her unconditionally and so gently and proved to her every day how much he cared for her. I look up to their marriage just as much as I admire them as individuals. Jhon was also the strongest person I know. I've had the privilege of learning Jhn's origin story over the past few years, and I could honestly listen to him share his experiences for hours and hours and still have 100 more questions. He's a man that never gave up. He fought his entire life for the one he was able to live life with, Nikki, and I will forever be extremely proud of him for that. He took pride in everything he did. He showed interest in every person he cared about. He impacted my family in more ways than we could even begin to thank him for. Thank you, Jhon, for sharing your smile with me. I love you so much, and I'll miss you forever.
Good job, honey.
You forgot to do your I Love Summer, babe.
Oh, yeah. I have one
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so every time we went to the river, Jhn's thing was when we went underneath the bridges, he would scream, "I love summer." So I'm forcing all of you, because you showed up here today, so you have to. I'm going to count down from 3, and we're all going to yell, "I love summer," with our hands in the air. I'm looking at you, Lucas. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I love summer!